So I'm Dan Barker and I am the Reform UK candidate for the Greater Manchester mayoral election due to take place this coming Thursday the 2nd of May. So I think we've seen under 7 years of Andy Burnham that crime, and in particular serious crime, has got a lot worse on his watch. I will back the Chief Constable to tackle the difficult issues like stop and search and about policing protests as well. As your mayor, I will make sure that police and crime is a priority for me. I will undertake the role myself. I will not delegate it to a deputy. It's far too important, and we've had far too high a crime for far too long in Greater Manchester. So I think what we've seen in the last 7 years is that the city centre has flourished and is booming, but there's lots of parts of Greater Manchester which are look and feel left behind, and I will make sure that I have an economic growth plan that covers all those places, not just the city centre. We'll bring a new enterprise zone or a new Freeport even to somewhere in Greater Manchester to make sure that we can have a real boost for growth and jobs. In terms of startups, I'll try and encourage them by making business rates available to them as if they were a charity for the first 2 years on a reduced tariff, as long as they can demonstrate that they're employing people in Greater Manchester. I think everyone feels sad when they see the rough sleepers, particularly in the centre of Manchester and in other towns. I will support what we've got now, and I will look at ways to improve that service by looking at everything that's provided for rough sleepers and homeless, that's provided from the taxpayer, from the private sector and from the voluntary sector, and how all that knits together. But I'm not going to make any bold claims here that I will get rid of it within a year. I think it's too knotty a problem, but I am committed to improving it. One of my commitments is I will provide that independence poll. It will be advisory. However, if that's the will of the people, the government of the day would have to take note of that. And anyone else who's part of Greater Manchester now and who wants to consider their position as a borough will also be given that opportunity. There'll also be chance for other areas currently outside Greater Manchester to join, perhaps some places in Cheshire, perhaps some places in Yorkshire. There's enough brownfield land supply in Greater Manchester to build enough homes for the next 20 years. And that will be my policy, will be to focus on brownfield first and get building. Make sure we've got affordable homes so that young people can get on the housing ladder, social housing for those who need that safety net, and make sure that there's enough homes for everybody. I'm not in the business of doing a big U-turn and wasting all the money that's been invested in there already. I will make sure that we connect the places that are not connected now, that we get those routes in there, and I will make sure that bus service in particular is self-funding and that we don't need London-style bailouts, increases in council tax, or even cuts to essential services to fund the bus service. I think we've seen under Labour and Andy Burnham, we've trust damage through things like the Clean Air Zone. £100 million worth of taxpayers' money spent on a camera network that wasn't actually needed. Those cameras will go. I will also make sure that all new cycle lane developments are put on pause. We've seen some terrible developments in places like Castleton in Rochdale, where the cycle lanes have effectively killed local businesses and shops. Cycle lanes have got to work for everybody, not just the cyclists.